What's up, guys? Welcome back to Simply FPL. This is I've never done a video like this before, so I'm going to do a bit of kind of live tinkering. Well, not live because it's obviously a recorded video, but in essence, I'm fairly happy with my team, but I'm also very conscious that there's some glaring issues with it. So I'm trying to maybe plug those holes a bit. So yeah, we're going to have a quick look at that. Before we do, I finally set up a league, so I'll put the code in the description and the comments. Feel free to join. Yeah, that's all to be said on that. So yeah, let's get into the tinker room. There we go. So this is what we've got at the moment, and again, I really like this team. Now I know, like, the most commented comment, if you like, on the last video was how crazy I am for not having Bruno Fernandes. But also, just to clarify, I made a joke that Bruno Fernandes without the penalties is a £7.5 million midfielder. That was supposed to be a joke about the fact I had Greenwood in my team, who's a £7.5 million midfielder. So apologies to the 30 or so people that really got upset by that comment. So yeah, that's a sarcastic apology, by the way. But just to clarify, I don't think Fernandes should be valued at £7.5 million. But anyway, moving on. So, other than that, there wasn't too many big criticisms of this team, and as I say, I'm quite happy with this team going into game week 1. This is the first day in a while where I've not made any changes. Now I did update the bench fodder players to players that might actually get a game. So I have Newcastle's defender and Davis up front. Now Davis obviously apparently out for the next few months, so he has zero chance of getting games. So I just updated them to the best next chance to not just be bench fodder. But the big issue I've got with the team is that although this first 11 I'm fairly happy with, if we break it down a little bit, Havertz not guaranteed to play. He's just not absolutely nailed on to play. Now, I'd be fairly certain he will play, but even last season he was kind of in and out of the team. Like, there was a lot of changes there. So for me, I want to make sure game week 1 I've got 11 players. That's the first thing you want to do. If you finish game week 1 and you've not had 11 players giving you points, that you've made a big error somewhere, and I'm very conscious of that. So Havertz not nailed to play. Mahrez not nailed to play. Greenwood not nailed to play. Danny Ings not nailed to play. That's 4 players who, like, there's a chance. Like, I'm not saying there's a good chance, because I think they will all play, but there's a chance that, like, 4 of them, none of them play. And then I've only got 1 playing sub in Chambers. So you could be looking at finishing this first game week with 8 players, and then a huge headache on what to do with transfers. So I don't want to have, even if there's a 1% chance of that happening, I just don't want to. If that does happen, your FPL season is pretty much over, and it's only game week 1. So I'm trying to look at ways to mitigate that. So yeah, in essence, looking at my team, I don't want to touch that back 4. For reasons discussed in previous videos, I'm very happy with that back 4. I don't think there's much risk in that back 4, and that's pretty much, they're nailed on for me. The midfield, Havertz is only going to be there for 1 game week, so I've saved £1.5 million in the bank to upgrade to Son for game week 2. So I'm probably happy to keep him of the he's not going to be one of the sacrificial lambs because I've already got plans for him. Salah's going nowhere. I think Mahrez is worth the punt because he's been so good in pre-season. Rafinha's not going anywhere. So that only leaves Greenwood as someone who I could potentially get rid of. So he might be the one that has to go. And then up front, Tony and Ings. Now, unless we hear Danny Ings is not going to play game week 1, I'm not going to get rid of him. And there's not too many replacements for Tony to save money. So I think it's going to have to be Greenwood. And I'm just kind of looking at the ways we can fix this up. First of all, I'm not worried about not having a playing goalkeeper. But one thing of interest to people who do want to have 2 playing goalkeepers, if you have Sanchez and Meslier, you can get to game week 33 without playing a single red fixture, which is phenomenal. So if you look at Sanchez, he has red fixtures in 3, 5, 9, 10, 14. And Meslier has 3 green, 5 green, 9 green, 14 green. And then his red fixtures, basically, I won't go through them all, but if you measure them up, you don't get a problem till game week 33, where they both have a red fixture. So, look, I'm not going to be playing 2 goalkeepers myself. I'm quite confident on Sanchez not being an injury risk, and I don't mind playing him against the tougher teams to save money. But if you are looking at 2 playing goalkeepers, I mean, Sanchez and Meslier, I've never seen 2 goalkeepers' fixtures line up as perfectly as theirs does. So that's something I thought I might point out. But anyway, so we get rid of Greenwood. We've got 9 million in the bank because, again, I really want to save Havertz for Son. We're going to get rid of Omar-Bamadele. Is that how you say his name? Omar-Bamadele? I've heard everyone pronounce it differently, but we'll go with that. And obviously Obafemi. They're similar, sort of similar names. We've now got, 16 million? So the obvious answer for me, to begin with, is you put the money in defense, because that's where you can get your cheapest guarantee to play player, right? So, I mean, what we could do is go... Would we look for a 4.5 for that? We might do. I mean, Ayling's the one. He's got good fixtures around, game week 5 onwards, where we'll have the likes of Danny Ings, their fixtures start to turn. So from 3 to 10, he's got, 7 out of 8 pretty good fixtures. So if we upgrade him to Ayling, we've now got another playing bench player, right? Obafemi is the tricky one, because how do you get a striker who plays? I mean, I don't think there are any outside of Pukki at 6 million, are they? Pretty much just Pukki by the looks of it. I mean, you're not going for Ashley Barnes. You may as well not have a player. You're not going. I mean, if you're going to go for 6 million, it's got to be Pukki. I'm not a fan of that. But you're only having him on your bench. So, look, I'm not a fan of having £6 million bench players as it is. But this is, again, the idea of this video is just to try and find a way to plug the potential that I only start the week with 8 players, while still maintaining the structure that I've pretty much resigned myself to. So, if we get rid of Greenwood, we can upgrade to Ayling and Pukki. And we've got 5.5 million to spend on a midfielder now. Because, again, I want to save 1.5 million to move Havertz to Son for game week 2. So if we go to midfield now, there are a few options in that price range. To me, Smith Rowe is the one that's shouting at me. I mean, there are some options in the newly promoted teams, but again, I feel I'm creating more problems than I'm solving by picking these lads. So yeah, in essence, you can put in Smith Rowe there as well. That all of a sudden has got potential, right? So let me just keep this other team loaded on the screen so we can compare them. Okay. So we make these transfers. So we're essentially just swapping out a Greenwood for a Smith Rowe and upgrading our 2 bench options. And I'm wondering if this is going to be a better idea. So game week 1, we'd line up. I mean, we would literally just play Smith Rowe instead of Greenwood. But now we've got 3 players on the bench. And it does give me a better route to swap players around. Because, again, one of the big problems, let's say Harry Kane comes in and I want to put him in for, it'd be Danny Ings would be the obvious one. I have to make about 5 transfers to be able to allocate the 12.5 million, because I don't have a big fall guy. Whereas now I've got a lot of money on the bench, so within 2 to 3 game weeks, I could pretty much not disrupt the structure of the team and get that upgrade in. So, yeah, in essence, what we've done there, we've just removed, we basically stopped ourselves from having 5 mid-premium to premium midfielders. We dropped it down to a budget value midfielder, And again, that's just going to release a lot of headaches. So by game week 2, we'll have Son, Salah, Mahrez, Rafinha. And then we've got all the options. So, yeah, looking at the 2 teams, I mean, the bench of Chambers, Obafemi, and Omobamidele to Chambers, Ayling, and Pukki. Now, I know they've got tricky fixtures, but we're really just safeguarding. Like, we don't actually want them to play. So, yeah, that's really that, I guess. So I'm gonna mull that one over. Let me know your opinions, because the reason I wanted to do this little mini tinkering session as a video was so I could get a few people's opinions, because I'm actually not sure on this one. Like, whereas like the Bruno Fernandes decision, I look at and I go, do you know, I'm fairly certain I'm not going to have him for what reasons, and I'm happy with that. This not having a playing bench when I've got so many risky players, I'm just not sure what the better option is. Now, again, we've got the wild card as well. So, look, my initial plan was to change, was it game week 7? The fixtures changed for a few of the teams. Game week 7, or was it game week 8? Liverpool, Man City, Spurs. So, yeah, game week, it looks like it might have been game week 8, but either game week 7 or game week 8 looked like when I was going to use the wild card anyway, because by game week 6, you've probably not got too many Man City, Chelsea players, Spurs and Arsenal as well. I mean, you don't want to necessarily include Arsenal, but then by game week 7, game week 8, a lot of them go on nice little runs. Specifically, Man United. Man United's run. Check this out if you've not already seen it. It's a bit later actually. Sorry, game week 14 onwards. Probably the best run of any of the teams. So. Yeah, so that's in the back of my mind as well, that if I did go for the team without the playing bench, that I can just wildcard a few weeks in. It won't be an absolute season ender. But yeah, that's that. Drop that in the comments what you think about that. If there's any other players that I should consider in those positions. I'm fairly confident that I'm not going to swap out anyone but Greenwood at this stage. Like, I'm pretty much bought into the Mahrez, Salah, and I know it's Havertz, but eventually Son as the mid 3 with Rafinha backing them up. So yeah, it's really just what other combinations could we use if we get rid of Greenwood to have 2 playing bench players, but also a fairly decent midfielder, and that's the best one I can come up with. So yeah, drop in the comments what your thoughts are. I'll be reading them all, and yeah, don't forget to join that mini league. Has anyone joined it yet? Let's have a quick look. 2, 4, 6, 8. We've got 10 people already joined, and yeah, I only posted it on YouTube a few moments ago. So welcome, Kane, Devraj, Harry, Brian, Yo or Joe, Sushil, Sanija, Mitchell, and JJ Kremin. Yeah, everyone else joined that league. I assume there'll be several hundred people by the start, and yeah, we'll have a bit of fun in that. You can have like a league cup as well this season within mini leagues, which is pretty cool. So look, I've got like pushing 100 different football shirts at this stage. So what we might say, and I'll make an announcement, but winner of the league, I'll send you one of my random football shirts. Yeah, I'll think that one out more. I've literally just come up with that on the spot. So yeah, we'll have some sort of prize. So join that mini league. Details in the comments. And yeah, I know this video was more muddled than my usual muddled videos, but yeah, there's some thought process. I know quite a lot of people do enjoy the thought process side of things. And yeah, we'll have a proper video back up tomorrow, the next day. So yeah, enjoy your weekend. Take it easy, guys.